Okay, so for today's practice, we are going to be working with the day of body. And the practice for today is the now breath, which could also be defined as intermittent hypoxia. So intermittent hypoxia is an incredibly powerful technique. It can really help like some really serious health issues, people with diabetes, people struggling with their weight, people struggling with their lung function, asthmatics. There's been some really interesting research into this practice, which suggests it could be one of those ones that could really change people's lives. And also with gut issues, interestingly enough, being in a space of low oxygen can lead the gut flora to expand. I don't know if that's the right word. It doesn't really expand, it grows and it becomes more diverse. The practice itself is super simple. So it's just 2 inhales through the nose, followed by 1 exhale through the nose. And one way to sort of visualize this as a number would be if you broke the breath down into 4 steps: 1, 2, 3, 4. And on 1 and 2, they're your 2 inhales. 3 and 4, well, 3 is really the exhale, but the exhale goes a bit longer. And then you go back. 1, 2, in. 3, 4 is just 1 out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's cool.
Cool. So we're going to be doing that for 3 minutes. And then after 3 minutes, I'll just say to pause either on an inhale or an exhale. Uh, you won't have to worry about that. I'll tell you that at the time. And we're going to pause for different amounts of time. So if you feel the urge to take a sip of air, please do. Just take a quick inhale and then exhale and just enter that space. You've almost itched the scratch of breathing without taking on too much excess oxygen for that pause. But also not going to a point where it's overly uncomfortable and following your body. And as a sort of support for this practice, the affirmation, "I choose love," can be really potent. Just binding it with that 3-part breath pattern. I choose on the inhale, love on the exhale, and just gently affirming that to yourself throughout. And so just a couple tips when it comes to breath pausing. Relax, let go, allow the sensations to arise. If you're noticing any tenseness, just relax into it. We're not holding on today, we're pausing, we're relaxing. Focusing, I really encourage you to play with having perhaps your eyes open or closed during this practice, perhaps alternating between the two. And if you were to open your eye, just to fix it on a point, perhaps on the wall, a piece of art, I don't know, whatever's in your room, and just focusing there and feeling internally. It could be quite an interesting experience. And self-management, this goes to what I was saying about not being overly uncomfortable. If you need to breathe, take a sip and release. This is not about a competitive amount of time in a breath pause. And then the key is to enjoy it, really. These are powerful tools and can bring, really big insights and healing. So if you have any questions, now would be the time.
No, I'm all good to go. Thank you.
I'm good to go. Okay. Let me just check that my sound is on. Can you hear any music? No, there we go. Okay, so just
I can't hear any.
how's
Oh
that
wait,
now?
yeah, perfect.
How's the sound level for you?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Okay. So just closing down your eyes now. Taking a couple deep breaths, just deep into that belly, just warming up that diaphragm. And just grounding yourself in this moment. the pause before you begin the walk. And we're going to be walking gently up the mountain today. And when you're ready, just going into the practice. 2 inhales, 1 exhale. I choose love. Urging you to use the music. Allow the natural beat of the music to guide your breath. It's following, finding that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever variation of that pace you find. I choose love. Halfway through this bit. "30 seconds until the first pause. Just finding your focus, keeping with the affirmation. And taking in a full long inhale and pausing at the top. And seeing if you can find that gentle floating point, perhaps a gentle focus on your heart. And returning to the practice. 2 inhales, 1 exhale. I choose love. If you feel that mind wandering, just gently coming back to the pattern to the affirmation, 2 inhales, 1 exhale. I choose love. I'm halfway through this pattern now. "30 seconds before the next pause. Really coming into your focus. And exhaling fully now, releasing all the air. And pausing gently here. Perhaps tucking your chin ever so slightly. And just feel the difference. Note anything that's changed from this pause compared to the last pause. Know that at any moment you can take that sip of air. And returning now to the practice. 2 inhales, 1 exhale. I choose love. And as you affirm this to yourself over and over, your subconscious will begin to mold, and it will begin to choose love more and more. This is the power of affirmation. I choose love. I choose love. And halfway through this cycle, it's really coming into your focus. Binding your body with your mind through the bridge that is the breath. 30 seconds. Coming into that focus. Choosing love. I choose love. And fully inhaling. And pausing at the top here. Gently tucking that chin again. And finding that nice floating pause. And relax into this space. And just feel. Taking in more air as and when you need it. And returning now to the practice. 2 inhales, 1 exhale. I choose love. This is your final round of the breath. You're just really going with it. See where it can take you when you choose love. Halfway. Forty seconds. And fully exhaling now and pausing lovingly here at the bottom, gently tucking that chin and perhaps even bringing a small smile to your face and just exploring how that feels. And just a reminder, you need to breathe. Just take a quick inhale and release it again. And continue to explore the pause. Now taking one inhale and pausing at the top here. And exhaling and pausing at the bottom. Inhale and pause. And exhale and pause. Now letting go of everything and just returning to a completely natural breath, letting your body breathe exactly as it needs to. And just closing down your eyes if they're not closed already, and just watching. And perhaps adding in the affirmation, thank you, as your body inhales, bringing in the thank, and as the body exhales, sending out the you. Again, just affirming to creation that we are grateful. And perhaps bringing a smile to the face and exploring how that feels, allowing it to blossom into whatever it wishes to become. Now just releasing everything again. Gently blinking open the eyes and beginning to stretch out the body in whatever way feels good for you in this moment. Just really giving your body that space, time, and love to stretch and to be nourished. And as you stretch, just mindfully gazing around, seeing the space with fresh new eyes. And once you felt like you've had a lovely good stretch, just shaking it all out. Shaking your arms, your head, whatever it needs to go, just move that energy, shift it. And just coming to some stillness now. Perhaps placing a hand over your heart. And just being with yourself. And being grateful to yourself for showing up today. And I thank you for breathing with me today. It's been a pleasure.